Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream cello lesson. And today we're gonna continue on with the Bach number 3, Bach Suite number 3, and it's gonna be Sarabande today. So let's take a look at the music. And the sheet music is kind of formatted in a weird place. But we are starting here, right? So, as I discussed before, the suite is basically a four-part counterpoint, but played on a monophonic instrument, right? And I think Sarabande is a prime example of that concept. And I think you'll see what I mean in this one. So let's first take a look at the notes, but instead of playing all the chords and things like that, we're gonna first just take a look at the top line. So first, we're going to take a look at this line. So, the bowing is going to be, it may be different than the one that your teacher is giving you. Just know that this is my fingering, or my bowing and my fingering that I've, over the course of the years, just kind of combined all the different teachers I've had, and also all the different performances I had. So let's take a look. So I'm gonna just play the yellow highlighted line. But let's write out the fingering. So I'm going to start in first position. So here, let's count in 16th notes, right? So it'll be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and I'm going to go very, very slow so you understand. It'll make sense more. So let's start. Just the top notes. 1 E and 2 E and ready and 1 E and 2 E and da da. Let's go until there. Let me write out all the different fingerings. So 2, 1. Let's just do that first 2 bars. So, like that. Let's just do these. Alright, so we're gonna play 1 E and 2 E and shift half position, 3 E and then here 1 E and 2 E and we're gonna shift to second position, right? And then if we continue on, it'll be open. Let's clean this up a little bit. So we're gonna slur those 3 measures or 3 notes together. Same with here. We're gonna slur these 4/16 notes together. So now let's take a look at this line. So this line will be like this. So 16th notes, da 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 da, 3 E and 1, 1 E and 2. Right? So let's try that one more time. I was counting it kind of wrong. So 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 2 and 3. Right? So let's go until there. And I am gonna mark the phrase here. Like that. Alright, so let's just combine the both the four measures together, all together. So it'll be like this. Ready and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2. So that is the main melody of the Sarabande, right? So now let's talk about how we're supposed to add these two notes, all the chords underneath, right? So what I would suggest is instead of playing the chords all together, because that's gonna, the hard thing about adding the chords is the timing, especially the 3-note and 4-note chords, right? So now let's just try and add just the second line on top of it. So instead of doing chords, we're gonna do double stops. Right? So let's just play with now these notes, right? And I'll explain how they are being played. So E with C, and then open D, and then here 1, 2, right? So here it's 2, 2, 1, 2 to open, right? And then 1, 2, and then 1, 3 here. And then this will be 1, like that. All right, so C and E to start, and then D, open D, and then B flat and E natural. It's gonna be a tritone, so we're gonna do 1 and 2, and then F natural and B flat. That's gonna be a perfect fourth, right? So this. If you're out of tune with any of the perfect intervals, right? So perfect fourth or perfect fifth, it's just gonna start sounding really wobbly. Right? So try and find that tuning where it sounds stable, right? And then here we're gonna shift down after the and then D and B, it's gonna be B on the G string, and then so you're only gonna play it light a little bit, and then immediately you're gonna only play the D string in order for you to shift your left hand, right? So the adding the second voice is not too difficult in this part. So now let's try it in tempo, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 So now that's gonna be the main melody along with the second voice, right? Or the alto voice, I guess. So now let's see how he does adding. Now let's try and add the bottom notes of the chord. That way we can fully flesh out the harmony that he's playing or outlining. So we're gonna start up bow. So we're gonna go like this, right? Let's ignore the tempo or the timing for now. So let's just play. And then again, lower. Like that. Here it'll be 2 and 2. Now, how I think of the timing with the chords, the 4-note chords, is essentially the bottom 2 note is gonna be kind of out of time. And I start counting the 16th notes when I start playing the top 2 notes, right? Or the notes that contain the melody. So basically this is what I mean. So I play 1 E and 1 E and So, let me try and count that one more time. How I'm thinking about it when I'm performing it, right? So, like this. So the bottom 2 notes, I'm kind of doing. I'm not really thinking about it in terms of like a note length, right? I'm making sure I'm sounding the bottom harmony. So 1 E and da da da. 2 E and sorry, wrong tempo. And 2 E and So that's gonna be how I'm thinking about the timing of the 4-note chords in terms of the phrasing and things like that. Now let's move on to the next phrase. So here, let me write down the fingerings. And we're not doing this slur here. It'll be 2 and 2 like that. All right, once again, let's just take a look at the top notes, right? So the second phrase is going to start on the G here. So even though the phrase ends and the measure begins with the E, we're gonna follow the melody, right? So that's gonna be the G, dun, 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 dun. Right? That's gonna be our the melody that we're gonna follow. So like that. Let's just play the top note, 1 E and dash, shift down to first position, 2 E and then F, and then here we're gonna shift down to second position, like that. And then the next measure, excuse me, will be almost the same. It'll be like and 2 E and we're gonna shift down to the fourth position here. Or not fourth position, fourth finger. Alright, so what I mean by that is, so C, open, and then 2, 1, and then shift down to second position, like that. And then the next measure, we're gonna play open A and G together. And same thing, because we're gonna be shifting to half position, halfway through we'll start only playing the open A, and then open C natural with first finger, and then E flat with fourth finger, right? Right, C, D natural, E flat, and then F sharp is gonna be second finger, and then G natural with third finger, and then with the open G for the end. So that's gonna be the melodic line of the second phrase, right? So let me just outline it one more time, right? So let me just play that in tempo, right? In rhythm, with the rhythm. 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 2 E and let's try and add the second voice to it, right? So if we start, we're gonna start with C and G. So we're gonna be barring it, the fifth, and then shift down to first position. We're gonna play A with our first finger on the G. So it'll be like, I play kind of like, I don't hold the lower note all the way through. Kind of just let go at the very end. And only play the E on the D string. And then here, shift down to first position, 2 and 3. Open. And here we already talked about it. B flat and D. And right. So that's gonna be the main melodic line of the first half. And the phrase ends here. Let's write some fingering down. So it'll be 1, 2, 2, 1. Then it'll be 1, 1, 2, and 3. Open, 2. Open, 2, 1, 4. So now if we add all of the 4 notes in the chord, or 3 notes, right? We have to be aware of the timing once again, right? And where to start counting the timing. So right before the second phrase, it's gonna right? That line ends on the E, but the melody, the phrase actually starts on the G on the top, right? So how I do it is I end, so 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and then here third finger and second finger, 1 and so essentially I start counting when I start playing the melodic note of the chord. So 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 and E and 2 and. So I hope that makes sense. The fingering and the chords are fairly straightforward. It's nothing that we haven't played before. But here is where we have to be very, very aware of where the phrase ends, what note is the ending of the phrase, and what note is the beginning of the phrase, right? Because both of the notes actually land on the same beat, right? Like in the case of this right here, right? Another moment is here, da 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 da. Alright. Ba 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 bum. Right? So here, that is the second voice, the ending of the line, right? So like, right? On that note, but the melody keeps on going with right. So the melody is but since we're playing those two notes at the same time, you have to somehow show that those two, even though they land on the same beat, that they serve different functions, right? One is an ending, one is a beginning of a phrase. So that is going to be really the trick of interpreting Bach, at least for me. For me, I try to explore all the different harmonies, right? If we can play all the harmonies at the same time, we wouldn't have to worry about, like the piano, if we had multiple fingers to play, or all the bow can touch all the strings, we wouldn't have to split or have wonky timing for the chords. But since we're playing the cello, we have to break those chords as well as break the timing of those chords. So let me make that note. One of the biggest challenges of this piece, this movement, will be follow the melody. Start counting from the melody. Melodic note. When the melodic note. Melodic note is played. Alright, so that will be the biggest challenge of this piece, right? So, let me just play through the first half, right? And we'll continue on with the second half. So, and I'm gonna try and count out loud so you get the idea of how I'm counting in my head. All right, ready, and 1 E and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1, 2, and without counting, and repeat. both times I did 2 and 2 instead of this. So let's make it easy and make it consistent with the other phrase, right? The next phrase also has 2 and 2 right here. It's 2 and 2. All right. So that will be the first half. Now let's take a look at the second half. As you heard, the first half you're gonna play with the repeat, but the second half I don't necessarily play the repeat. Mainly the phrasing, the count, the measure count of the second half is actually the double of the first, right? So lengthwise it's longer, so I don't think it's necessary to repeat the second half. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly mark the phrase that the first phrase is gonna be from the repeat sign until the beginning of the measure 13, right? All right, so let's take a look at once again, we're gonna try and identify the notes that are the melody, right? So after the repeat, the note actually is gonna follow the middle voice like that. So if I play it, right? So it sounds like that. And it'll be like this. And same thing with the next phrase, next measure, right? It'll be no, 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 right? So. So it's gonna be like that. But once again, you can hear that the melody, the ending of the first measure is ending with this G sharp, right? Let me. Right? So. So that's how the first measure ends, right? So basically, you can hear that you can hear what I was talking about, the note, the phrase ending and phrase beginning on the same beat. However, it's played on a different note, right? So if I play the harmony from the bottom as well, so it'll be open G. So now let's try playing with the bottom note, right? Right? So if we add the bottom note, it takes a whole completely different meaning. how the melody is going. So that's gonna be an important thing to highlight, right? So, and we can hear that the phrasing ends there. And the difficult part about this will be adding the top note this time. So it'll be like, instead of, so we are still gonna count when we play the top, right? And da 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 da. So once again, that's gonna be the one of the challenges of the playing the 3-note chords, timing. The second challenge here is you're not gonna be sustaining that top note. What you're gonna do is, as you're playing the chord, kind of start fading out the beat. And that's gonna be done in the bow, right? So start lightening up on the A string as you're drawing it, right? Essentially, you want the focus to be remaining on the D string, right? Instead of, right? The B is only outlining the harmony. The melodic note is, right? So try and not sustain the B, the top note. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't sustain. Those two. The top notes there, right? So and then same thing for the next measure. So try and practice like that. Just play the top note and slowly fade out until you are only playing the D string, right? And then try and continue on with the melody. Okay, so that's gonna be how the beginning of the second phrase goes. And the rest of the phrase is pretty straightforward. So let's just take a look. Alright, so the next section we're gonna right. We end on the C natural. Here it's gonna be an extension, right? And then G sharp. So like that, and then shift half step down to fourth position. 1 and 2 E and right? 2 E and the 32nd note will be double the 16th note, so 3 E, 2 E and 3 E and like that. So once again, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and so we're gonna shift down to fourth position or second position, and then shift down to third position, and then trill 1, 2, and then end on an oboe on the C sharp, like that. So that's gonna be the phrase, beginning of the second phrase, right? So that's gonna be how the rhythm and the fingering is gonna go for the second half. So it's gonna be the same idea as the first half in terms of timing the chords and things like that. So try to really focus on the melodic line, right? So that's gonna be the blue phrase, light blue phrase of the piece. One of the difficult thing about this section is you're shifting, right? From second position, from this F sharp to that E. You can, if you have a large enough extension, you can just reach down, right? Because it's the same length as the same distance as an octave, right? So however, I like to just prepare my fourth finger on the G string and then shift down like that. All right. The blue phrase. I would say the blue phrase actually goes till here. So, now let's take a look at the second half of the blue phrase, right? Thankfully, this one doesn't have any double stops or any chords, so it'll be pretty straightforward. Let me just write down the fingerings. All right. So this one is pretty straightforward. We end C sharp here, right? C sharp, and then A is gonna be second finger, and then E is gonna be first finger. We're in fourth position, right? And then shift down to second position, C sharp, and then it's just an extension, right? To B flat, and then A, G, F natural first position, and then G, C sharp is going to be on the third position, and then G, stay in position. The fourth finger is going to be that F. Shift down to first position. And that's the chord, right? So the second bit of the blue phrase is pretty straightforward. So that's gonna be the first phrase of the second half, right? So let me just play through it real quick, so you get an idea of how it sounds like, right? So and retake. So that's gonna be the blue phrase. Let me quickly make a correction in the fingering here. This is not a 2 or 1, it's 2. So it'll be G sharp, F natural with third finger, and then B natural with second finger. So that's my bad. Same here. So now we're on the final stretch of the Sarabande, right? So this is the third and final phrase. And we're gonna go until there. So same idea here. Let me just write down the fingering real quick. So it'll be 2 here. So da, 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 da. Same here, down bow, 2, 4. open. All right. So let's try and follow only the top line once again. All right. So we're gonna just play this for now. Let's go until there for now. So we right, and then we retake the bow and we go like this. So F sharp, and then shift down like that. One and one E, yeah, like that, and then shift back to first position. 1-4 there. Let's keep on going for now. I'll write it down. And then top. Like that. So C, second finger, shift down, E, and then shift up. Shift to C natural, and then E will be extension, and then like that. So pretty straightforward notes. And right? So that's gonna be our melodic note. I think it's pretty straightforward. And here it's gonna be 1-4, 1, 2, 3. So if we add the chords, it'll be the same idea, right? So 1 and 2. So we're gonna start counting the subdivisions when we start playing the melodic notes, right? So here, open C, A, and F sharp. 1 and up. 1 and up. And here it's normal. So let's go until there. So the notes are pretty straightforward. I think by now you get the idea of timing the chords and things like that, right? So so I'm gonna end the phrase there, and then now let's take a look at the final phrase, right? So the final phrase will be where we stopped until the end, and if we look at the pattern, basically like this. Right? So we end it there, and then what we do is 1, 2, right? So 1, this is gonna be, the A is gonna be played with 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1. So here, you can think of the low notes as the bass line, right? So if we only play the low notes, it'll be like this. Right? So keep that in mind. And then, so it'll be, so for that second beat, I'm not holding the whole, the low A all the way through. Maybe like, eighth note. And the same idea for the second time, right? And here it's gonna be harmonic and then two slurred. Okay, so the phrase starts from the pickup. One and one. Here it's normal 1, 4, and then we're gonna shift down to fourth position or second position, and then D open. So the second half is pretty straightforward, I think, once you figure out the first half. The timing gets easier and easier. What I can say is just try and follow the melodic line. In the beginning, just maybe only play the melodic line instead of the harmonies, right? I think knowing what line is the melody is gonna be the key idea for learning this piece and getting the timing right. So let me just play the purple phrase one last time, and then I'll play the second half all the way through, and I think we will call it a day. Maybe I'll play the whole thing after once again. So let me play the purple phrase. So 3 and 1 and 1 and. So that's the purple phrase. Let's take a listen to how the whole second half sounds like together, right? So let's start from the light blue phrase where the repeat sign starts. So let me play the second half all the way through. So 1, 2, ready. So that's gonna be the second half of Sarabande. You know what? It's not gonna take long for me to play all the way through. So let me play the Sarabande all in from the very beginning. So you have the idea of how this movement sounds like. So I'm gonna play kind of like how I perform in concerts. So try and notice all the things that we've talked about. All right, 1, 3. All right. So that is going to be it for today. That's how Sarabande goes. And I hope the class helps you out. It's a kind of a tricky piece. So try to separate the melody and the harmony. Don't play it at the same time if you're having trouble with the timing. So that's all the tips and tricks that I have for this movement. So Once again, thanks for tuning in to the class, and I'm gonna try and finish up the Suite No.3 as fast as possible. We only have 2 more left. It'll be Bourrée and then Jig. Those 2 are probably one of the more well-known ones, so we'll take a look at it next time. All right, I'll see you guys later. Happy practicing. Bye.